Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So back on Coast to Coast. As I thought, coming out of San Antonio, we've literally got 4 jobs that we can take. So I've gone through and looked at them. Basically the one to Savannah and Eugene, really long. Obviously Eugene's also pretty cheap. The other one takes us down to Mexico. And while it has a couple good bonuses, this articulated hauler Volvo truck, something I've never actually hauled. It's also got a couple bonuses, maybe not quite as good, but it'll get us there and it'll get us to Albuquerque. And so what that may also do is we may actually get external contracts, which is down here, which is tied to the World of Truck site. And I think those only spawn in official SCS map locations. So obviously I've been sitting here over in the expansion maps and they're always blank, so that's why you've not seen me take any of those. So let's get to it.
Ready to roll.
Alright, so we need to go get our load. And this time, I'll try to make sure I listen to my GPS, unlike what I did last time.
Let's find a new route.
Okay, I just left the yard. What does that possibly mean? Is it... oh,
Turn left.
is it here? Oh, yeah, it's right here. Okay, so we won't listen to the GPS. Well, we did, but... foolish me. Alright. That makes it even easier, because we don't have to go anywhere. Oh, and that one was going to Savannah out of here, too. So, not many places out of San Antonio, obviously.
Okay, here we go.
Alright,
Here we are.
so
Safe.
we're gonna head back,
Get ready
pull
to
out.
turn left.
So there's the backhoe that someone's gonna take way farther. Okay, this barrel is not good because... alright, hold on. I'm not liking this idea, but if I go in like the way I should, if that barrel has collisions, which I'm guessing it does, I'm not going to be able to get out of here. Because if you look over there, like, I'm right near the fence. So I'm going to connect here at like a 90-degree angle. And then with the articulation and the trailer, I'm going to hope that I can get this thing out. So as you can see, I've had these kind of trailers before with large loads. This is definitely a heavy haul. But what you see, I mean, you've got an articulation here, you've got an articulation in the back. These are long, hard to maneuver loads. So that's partially why we're able to get what we're getting. But we're on our way. Let me again reset my trip counter.
Turn left.
So this is longer than the one we took, because I didn't really share the details with you. So it is 791 miles. The other one was like 550. So this will be a little bit longer. I think the other one was clocking in right at 45, 46 minutes. I'm not entirely sure. With the haul, it just took us a while to get to it. So, the challenge there was obviously I can only take the loads that are available to me. I mean, obviously I could have potentially, I guess, driven to another city entirely and just headed over that way, but that seems kind of foolish. given that I have loads here.
Turn left.
Oh, turn left. Alright.
Turn left.
Which I guess makes sense, because yeah, we came in, the reason we've got that road covered is we got the recruiting station, if you remember, the recruitment agency. North American Moving Company. I was just talking with some of my teenage, college-age kids yesterday, and they were asking, like, when you move cross-country, how does that work? Do you have to, like, pack your own stuff? And so we talked about companies like North American or United Van Lines or others like that. Oh, he's stopping, so hopefully we'll be green soon. So it's always a fun conversation when trying to educate people, whether they're your own kids or just people. Alright, so I'm going to swing wide because, oh boy, even that wasn't really wide enough. As I said, these trailers, very, very interesting, to say the least. So this is absolutely the benefit we get of beefing this truck up, putting in an 18-speed gearbox and so forth, is we can take loads like this without too much difficulty. Just wanted to verify where I needed to go, because this is not a rig I'm turning around anytime, any place easily. So I'm gonna actually move over here, cut him off, because I'm gonna need every inch of space on this entrance ramp, I think, to actually make this work.
Get ready to
So
exit left.
this could be fun on some of the really tight ramps and so forth.
Exit
So
left.
alright, hopefully he'll let me go. We are so long, it is just hard to know. Alright, Merrick, did you level up, Merrick? You did. Alright, so definitely, I'm hoping I'll remember, but I need to change his level up strategy, his training, when I stop to rest tonight. Speaking of resting, 9 hours and 11 minutes. It's telling us 12 hours and 47 minutes to delivery. So in theory, we could have done it in one rest period. It would have been one pretty long day, nearly maxing out everything we have. But don't have that option. And so 9 hours, it's only 7 a.m. Or wait, never mind. I'm looking at the real time on my sim dashboard. So yeah, it'll get us to about 7 p.m. I think, obviously with potential time zone changes and so forth. Not sure between San Antonio and Albuquerque any more than I was between Jackson, Mississippi and San Antonio in the last episode. But yeah, we'll get us a little later. And then of course, it switches us to early in the morning, but it'll work. So you can see, while we can take these jobs, we've got a car here on the side of the road. Let's give him some space because we are a bit of a wide load. Looks like he's overheated here in the desert. I can tell you, we did not overheat in the desert, but we did go on a road trip. We were all in a trailer, and I don't remember why maybe we did overheat. I don't know. I was a little kid. I wasn't obviously that little. I remember it. I think I was probably close to 10 or something. But I remember it was so hot. My brother and I just stripped down to our underwear, and we were in the car that way even, because with the air conditioning and everything, and I think that was part of it. I think we had to not have the air conditioning on because then we were truly in danger of overheating. So I remember our dad telling us, like, you know, sorry, but it's going to be hot. So yeah, we got a feel of the desert, and when you break down, it is not fun, because you know nobody's around, and you're kind of like either at the mercy of people driving by or just hoping you can get going again. It looks like, is that just a church sitting out here in the middle of nowhere? I think it is. Nice. Little ghost town from the old cowboy days, maybe, when the West was new and there were none of these paved highways. It was just horses and feet, and that's how you got around. Yeah, you had a heavy haul in those days. You were not in your Freightliner. You had a team of horses, and again, in this climate, got to be careful before you kill them, work them too hard, and they die from exhaustion or heat stroke or whatever. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Definitely happy to be in my air-conditioned Freightliner. But no, what I was going to say is, while I can make this trip, you can see, and at this point, like, I do have my cruise set to 80. There we go. We did get to 76. Like, we can take this job, but it's taken us a long time to get to full speed. So, as you might imagine, as any trucker actually hauling these kind of loads, they are not too happy with the wonderful AI that we're likely going to experience here, and the drivers who are suddenly like, oh, I'll just cut you off. And, you know, once again, we're going to have a bit of a challenge in slowing down, just like we are in speeding up. So I'm hoping we make this without incident. But, you know, even if I need to slow down to 50, I mean, if you go back, if you haven't been paying attention, or just wait, I'm sure we'll be speeding up again. I mean, we know we're going to have to stop to rest. We'll get fuel at the same time. I've still got 1,250 miles of fuel, so I'm not going to run out of fuel before I need to rest. But you can watch, like, just even going from 50, how long it takes to get here. So, yeah, people better stay out of my way, or I'm not going to be a happy trucker. So, yeah, these, I guess over to the right is more a mesa. The thing in front is, with all the different formations and stuff, is less of them, because a mesa is usually a flat-topped structure, and while that is kind of flat-topped in certain areas, there's definitely obviously gaps and little spires and so forth that kind of make it less of a mesa. Alright, so if we needed to rest, this would be a lovely spot, but we're not going to worry about it right now. Yeah, what I wish these had, that's the only thing they're missing, is some of them should have service. That would be cool, because, you know, then it could really be like a full-service truck stop, and especially in an area like this. So I'm assuming that's a solar panel farm that we've got. We'll see if we can take a look. Yep, you can see them down there, clustered around the receiving units to get the power from the solar panels and so forth. So
Go straight on.
pretty good stuff. Okay, I figured we would be, but again, with expansion maps, if you've been following this series, you understand the GPS isn't always honest, and once again, as long as it takes me to get going, I mean, I have yet to hit that glorious 8 oval speed limit to get to 80 even once. We must be getting close, because it's starting to turn red now up there. So, the truck is trying. It's trying really hard to do what I'm asking it to do. But it is having a heck of a time trying to figure out where my temperature gauge is. I assume it doesn't really... Oh goodness, now we fall into 78. So we might not ever hit 80. But yeah, we've got ourselves a good little thing here. So yeah, we might not get there. I mean, I don't think we're climbing much, but there will be areas in New Mexico, I think, that have some elevation changes, which are going to be fun, which is, once again, like taking that backhoe to Oregon. Actually, I guess that one was going to Savannah, Georgia. It was something else that was going to Oregon from Staples. But yeah, if you were going to Oregon with this load, man, we'd get there. But I couldn't tell you with certainty how long it would take. Longer than we expected. How about that? So yeah, now it's just like a hope that I get there, that I get to 80. I do think before I get myself in trouble, I really need to repair my truck at some point, either at the end of this run or in the middle of the run at some point, because yeah, once the wheels start getting red up to the body, you're getting real close to that 10%, and then kind of once you're there, you start getting penalized at the weigh stations for driving a truck that's really not safe. Alright, well, I'm going to turn on my signal, because A, I should, but B, it's the only way that they'll back off. And I don't know that he really did, or I just pulled far enough away from him. So, at about this point, we're about the length now of the run we had in the last episode, so that'll give you a little bit of an idea of the difference, telling us less than half an hour to finish up. So I'm hoping this should still be, as far as the run itself, within the hour that I've committed to, because we do have, I do probably have to leave myself a little bit of slack in the fact that if I've got to work with my staff, if I've got to take a little bit to run across town like we did with Jackson, it probably took us 5 minutes and even longer because I went to the wrong place first to go pick up the load. Kind of trying to figure all that out in the episode is a challenge, so. But I'm sure you guys who are enjoying these will give me a little bit of leeway. And obviously in the beginning, I know I had folks saying, nah, show me the whole thing. Even, you know, when I was doing the 3,500, 4,000 mile runs, so. Some of you, I guess, stuck through 5 hours or 4 hours of video, so if it's an hour versus an hour and 10, I'm sure you won't mind. And you'll enjoy the extra entertainment you've got without having to fire up another video or wait for another one to appear if you're caught up with me. Oh boy, road work ahead. Never a good thing. I'm going to move over though, but that likely means we're going to have to slow down. We absolutely are going to have to slow down. Do not cut over. Alright, well, I cannot blame cars. That's not road work. Well, maybe it is. I guess the way they have that truck parked, it almost looks like the thing had an accident and they're just picking stuff up off the ground. So here we go. 40. And now trying to speed up. Woo-hoo. You know, and the impact here is real for our arrival. Because if you think about it, like I've got 5 hours and 20 minutes right now till rest time. And again, ATS counts down pretty quick. You can see the minutes going up there. Like every minute's going by, I'm only going 50, where I was just a moment ago going 80. So I've got 30 miles an hour difference, and I'm probably easily going to take an hour to get back up to speed here. So I'm going to be 30, 40, 50 miles different as far as how far down the road I would be if versus the 2 speeds, which obviously then impacts how long it takes to finish. But and now we've got a hill, so I already went from 58 to 57. This is I wouldn't be surprised if I'm sloughed off to 50 or less before I get to the top of this. Oh yeah, we are falling like a stone. There we go, we're downshifting, so again, good gearbox. Gives us the ability to at least, hopefully maintain. There we go, we're speeding up a bit even, but we are cresting the hill. So hopefully we'll see. By the time we get to the bottom, we're going to be at 57 again, and at least have gotten our speed back. We are. And then some. So that's where some of the benefit exists with the hills sometimes. Because the weight, obviously we're pulling and using gravity to go down. Where obviously gravity is pulling against the pull of the truck the other way. So we at least somewhat counteract the forces of gravity slowing us down because the truck is continually pulling, but then on the way down we get the added benefit of we're accelerating faster than gravity is sending us, because we're also applying our own horsepower in the form of this lovely, I think I've got a Cummins engine in here. If I had that choice I would have put it in, but I don't remember what I did. So once again, another rest stop at 4 hours and 34 minutes. It's still too early. It's only 3 in the afternoon. We'd be starting at 1 a.m. Prefer not to do that if I have the choice. And we should either be out of Texas and into New Mexico by then. We're very, very close. 4.5 hours should still be enough to come across another rest stop. So, and if we get down to 2 hours and we're still here in the Texas desert, I will certainly take a look at the map and start scanning for rest areas just to make sure we're not giving ourselves some difficulty. So coming up finally on the speed limit after our roadwork slowdown. Couple big cable reels there, more than actually 4. I said a couple in the proverbial sense, not the literal sense. Alright, pretty sure we keep going? Yep. Alright, it's just possible because at some point we do need to go north. So, and it was basically almost like a 90-degree trip here.
Go straight on.
So El Paso and Phoenix. So we haven't even hit El Paso, Texas yet, but I think El Paso is very close to the border, because I know we had gone there before. Obviously we're not discovering any new road here. So we have been this way when we went through, I think, to Mexico or something. So yeah, the other piece of news I have to share, because those of you who follow me on the channel and watch enough of my videos, at some point you'll certainly have understood. I'm very data-driven, I'm very detail-oriented and very curious about things. So I did go back in between the last episode where I announced to you, hey, we're in the open beta. There's a possibility we might have some delay. I mean, my intent would certainly be, and I didn't clarify this in the last episode, if I suddenly can't proceed, my goal is ultimately not to abandon the series. I mean, I'll certainly would like to keep it going, because I like these type of things where now I've got a company, now I'm moving along, and we can just be an owner operator with a company and just go. And having all this extra map and so forth is terrific, because it would have been the same thing. I'm thinking Montana's going to come out before Texas does, but let's say they release Montana. It's not like I'd be like, oh, we're done, series is done, we got a new map from SCS. We don't need all these other maps anymore. Because we certainly do. It gives us Montana, but we still don't have all the rest of the country that most of this does. But the reality is, when they release Montana, Coast to Coast is probably going to be in conflict, because obviously right now it has some roads that go through Montana, and they're likely not going to overlay exactly, and we're going to have the same problem I had in Montana before, where I'll drive and I'll fall off the map. And again, I might be able to limp through where maybe I can make connections everywhere else, but I just can't go into Montana. Although I should be able to go into Montana with, with obviously the SCS stuff, because that'll be linked correctly to Idaho and Wyoming and so forth. But, you know, if I then try to go to Canada or try to go over to the Dakotas and things like that, there's a possibility I'd have the same problem I did in the episode a while back, where I fell off the planet. So, yeah, you can go back and look for that one in this series if you want. The thumbnail's like levitation trucking. So, it was fun. It was a fun time. And it's actually right in the beginning of the episode, so if you just kind of wanted to see the disaster without necessarily watching a run, just give it 5 minutes and I think you'll see it all. It might not even require that much time. But anyway, you know, so let's say they release 1.44, something causes something not to work, and I have to wait, and you know, the person who's working on it says, yep, you know, we're gonna try. Because the challenge is with any of these, I mean, you know, people will post things in the workshop, hey, it's broken with 1.44, and you know, it might take a week for the person who's responsible, if they're still active, to say something. But there is also the reality that someone may be like, I'm not playing the game anymore, I don't really care, I'm not going to update it. I've seen comments like that on things I've been doing. You know, when I was looking in Eurotruck for the real economy stuff so that I could find it there, like there were 9 or 10 mods in the workshop, but almost all of them had been abandoned as far as maintenance, and you know, the last time they had worked was like 1.3. So you know, and that's the kind of comments they kind of ended with, sorry, I get it's broken, but I'm not, you know, I haven't been playing the game in months, and I'm not going to update it. And there's not really anything you can do unless you want to become a modder yourself and figure out how to do it and create a mod and maintain it, which I think is probably how all of these started. Someone said, hey, I want to do this, and nobody's got this, I'll create this and then put it out to the community, and as long as I'm enjoying it, I'll maintain it because I want it for my gameplay. But so while I want it for my gameplay, I don't have the time, and I might have the curiosity and the inclination, but you know, let's be real, to do stuff like that, I know the investment of expertise and skill and learning that that's going to take, and I know I don't have the motivation to go through it, let alone the time, because that would just make things even worse, because then instead of putting videos together and you know, getting things out for you guys on the channel, I'm dark and trying to learn for weeks or months on end to try to do a single mod. And then again, you know, I've done enough programming in my life to also know I might not get it to work. So I could spend all that time and get nowhere. So in any event, that just, you know, it's a lot of extra color, as I said. You know, if you've watched for any time, I'm detailed, so you get detailed descriptions from me. We're in the truck for a long time, so still got 13 minutes. But yeah, my intent would be, hopefully, that in some form, at a minimum, I could get going again. I mean, it may turn out that I say, look, you know, we're not going to have traffic packs for a while, but I've not gotten any errors when I load the game with the maps. Like, it looks like I can still drive, but you know, I'm having hiccups with the traffic, so I'm going to disable all the traffic packs until they're updated. You know, there's still going to be vehicles, they're just not going to be the variety and whatever, and once again, I don't know that you guys would notice it. Fun little clipped hill over there with just like bushes floating, but we're not seeing the other side. This is a fun little hill. Alright, well, it's telling me 12 real minutes, but obviously, again, for what we talked about a little while ago. Hey, train. Oh, we're down to 1 hour and 40 minutes. I better pay attention to my rest options. It looks like we're coming up. I see buildings that look like hotels and stuff, so maybe. Alright, I got my signal on. Okay, that's a gas station, which is all well and good, but I need more than that. Let's see. Alright, that's a ways away. I'd rather not go there. Man, there is just nothing. Goodness gracious, really? Am I gonna have to do that? Because, yeah, here I think it's like on one side of the road. I'm not sure I can even get there. I think it's like a one-way rest stop. There's no way I'm getting there in 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, I've got to exit here and go to Santa Teresa, so this is going to take a little bit longer than we thought, I guess. Although, can I exit here and go to Santa Teresa? I should be able to. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Wow. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I'll have to come back that other way. Oh, I bet that's a recruitment center next to the Ford dealer. Let me in. People are terrible. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't exit here. Oh, I can exit at the next one. Thank goodness. I'm like, if that bus isn't moving... Alright. So I can go here, but now I need to figure out... Alright, so I need to... Oh boy. I'm thinking that's going to be like a really tiny thing, but that's the closest one, so... Alright, either way, it's going to get me there.
Drive safe.
I just want it to try to give me a little bit of...
Left, and then exit left.
Now the question is, do I want to go around that turn? Alright, I do.
Exit left.
Yeah, I just don't know that it's worth the other... Oh boy, am I going to be able to do this? Yes, I am bumping against things because I don't know that I have a choice. Hurting my situation even more. Oh boy. Alright.
Keep left.
I don't know.
And then exit
Actually,
left.
maybe I'll stay. Maybe I'll take... At this point, we're like adding all kinds of time anyway. Maybe I'll disconnect and go discover that recruitment center that I'm pretty sure is there. I mean, we'll see what we see here. But, yeah, this is still 50 miles an hour, so it's not like it's slow. I mean, it might just be something else, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be a recruitment center. Alright, so I'm gonna leave this here, which is not gonna please people, but hey, it's a game. We do what we need to do sometimes for the sake of what we need. And it would be really foolish to not not discover this recruitment center, and I don't know that we would driving down the road. So that's it. That's all I need. Now it's there. Now they're added to my call list when I'm looking for drivers, which, again, I think I'll be a little bit shy because I don't want to have no money. So I like the fact we've got a Ford dealer there. Yeah, I know. Because, yeah, the problem is I don't think we're at a point where we're slow on time movement. Actually, we are. It's still an hour and 25 minutes, but so it is decreasing, but not that bad. All right, I'm actually not doing too bad here, but I need to be careful that I'm not coming up on it too fast. And then I do damage to my truck because I slam into it. There we go. All right, reconnect our load. But yeah, we got a 55,000 pound Volvo there, because yeah, if I had gone here, like, it would have been a bigger pain to be like, oh, it didn't discover it, and now I've got to go around. I mean, you would think it would, but just where that point is, I'm not sure that it would.
Keep left and then exit left.
Alright, that can't be right. Wait a minute. Whoops. Alright, why did it, like, I want to go here. Here. Why would it have cleared that just because it had to reroute me? That's disappointing.
Keep right and then keep right.
I mean, at least I had my own sense of internal direction. Otherwise, that would be
Right.
a mess.
Turn right.
Alright, so maybe, you know, this extension here was like, you know, God's way of giving me enough time to talk, because I always have a lot to say, right? So, as I was talking about, like, I would get going at some point again. And at this point, from a recording standpoint and so forth, like, I'm posting episodes in this series that are now like a month out in the calendar. So even if I had a delay of a month in real time, you might not even notice it, because I might be able to get back and the sequence would still happen that every 8 days you're getting an ATS episode from the series, and it would just work and it would all be magical. And it's, you know, kind of the wonder of recording, right? But alright, I'm just worried. You know, we got a ways to go, but alright, so we'll see where we're at. It's not too bad. It's telling me 18 minutes, but I think we were already down to like 12, so this has probably added like 6 minutes. And thank goodness we didn't have to stop at the light, but there we go. Now we've got cars that are like wanting to move and cutting me off. So speed limit says 55, but then it tells me 45. That's the stuff that I don't like when they do that as modders, because obviously the AI like reacts to that, and so that's what creates that bottleneck. I think is you've got that little piece that they've got to get down to 45, and then obviously everybody's coming up at 55 behind them. It jams everybody up, and now we've got this hill, and I'm going, you know, 26 miles an hour. You know, this is all well and good when you're doing the map design. I get you do what you do to make it reasonable, but this is where it hurts when you're trying to actually play it and you're doing a heavy haul through the desert, and now you've got to take this detour that's going to take forever just arrest and not get arrest penalty. I think I'm okay. I've still got over an hour till my rest period runs out, and then obviously you've got like an hour grace period, or at least a half hour after that. I can't imagine it's going to take me that much time to get there. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like I might still get a penalty because they've got this thing so far away from any place reasonable. Like they had rest areas along I-10 for a while. Why did they stop them and then just suddenly put them in towns that aren't even near the road? Just not well thought out. All right, Texas plate. Got a New Mexico plate, so that's kind of cool. They've got like a mixture then. And I'm sure these Texas ones, because if you look around, the ones coming at us, the one to the left, like they're the yellow New Mexico. The only Texas ones that I can see are the two in front of us. And I'm assuming those cars like came with us, and they've just stayed in front of us as I've been driving here. And that's why. So the plates like don't change when they cross the border. Like when the car is spawned, it's spawned with plates, and yeah, because the trucks to the right, also both of those that I could see. But there's a Texas one that just went by that was behind us. But once again, he could have been coming with us. But I would think shortly, like, we're not going to see any Texas plates for a bit, obviously, until we head back and get in that area, because I don't remember. I don't know if St. Teresa. Are you kidding me? I got to cross into Mexico to rest? Oh my God. Oh, this is, yeah, let's just say, not happy how this has been designed. Alright, well, I don't have a choice.
Go straight on.
I know I'm getting tired. Alright, all commercial trucks.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Because, yeah, like that airport thing they have over there, you've got to go so far around. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I'll definitely do the one coming the other way, because I think then it will let me, you know, but yeah, I'm going to have to do that loop, so maybe I'll rest at the other one. I don't know. Alright. There you go. 103,000 pounds. So we're well over 80,000. Absolutely a heavy haul load. So yeah, not intending to be in Mexico. This is, you know, I'm like, I don't want to go on loads in Mexico. Where am I?
Go straight
Mexico. I love you, coast to coast modders.
on. I'll find a new route.
And at this point, thanks to Reforma, I have somewhere to rest. Otherwise, yes, I'd really be cursing the coast to coast modders. Because I'd be getting a penalty when 4.5 hours wasn't enough time to get me somewhere that I could rest. Again, I gotta swing far enough out. And now the Mexican guys want to measure me because they need their reading. Obviously, they're not going to count on the U.S. to just pass stuff across. I know it's not in perfect technical state. Again, I'm going to have to give myself some room to swing here. And then I am going to have to figure out how I get this thing turned around. Because those look like some pretty...
And then turn left.
Alright, so this is like a big rest space. So this might actually work okay here. I think I'm open in the center. Please let me stop here. Alright, thank you. Alright, we're going to stop, and we're going to rest. Alright, 4 a.m. and yes, if I rest again, I would have a problem. So, not gonna do that. Oh, Ahmed couldn't find a job. Oh, that's right. I need to adjust Merrick. Alright, so Merrick's at 2 on long distance, which is kind of what we want to do. He's out of Tulsa. Really? Because I was thinking for a while maybe I had some problems with the Ontario garage, that there just wasn't a lot of work around there. But now we're having stuff in the middle of the country, and Tulsa's got cities all around it. I don't understand. Alright. So, I need to basically go and then turn around. Another one had to return empty. Look at that. They're just costing me money all over the place. These guys. Alright.
Turn left.
Turn left. So there was some sign there, but it's in Spanish, so I'm not really good at understanding what it says. Please don't run into me, because I have to swing wide because I have a really, really big, long articulated trailer. And now I'm going to straddle the line and drive you guys crazy.
Turn right.
So thank you folks in Mexico for being nice and giving me... Oh, I can't swing too wide anyway because these barriers are here. I was like, I need the cars to give me some space. Oh, that hurt. I was worried, like I could feel through the force feedback. I'm like, oh, did I hit something back there? But it was the curb there. Oh, of course, early morning out of Mexico. All these drivers done with their rest times like me. Now we're lined up at the scales. All of this, let's just be honest, because of poor map design. So, Mantrid, who I think is the one who's responsible for Coast to Coast, if you hear this, please do something about this. Get more rest areas on your map. Like I said, I don't even think this is a Coast to Coast thing I'm on now. Like, if I didn't have the Reforma map in here, I'd have nowhere to rest for a 4.5, 6 hour stretch, and that's just foolish, because in reality we know it's not that bad. Alright. We're still 103,000 pounds, go figure. So, yeah, that rest space was better. Could have gotten in here and probably gotten out, because hopefully the trigger is kind of the whole pad, so I wouldn't have to like pull in between the trucks. But if I did, that would be a problem, because there isn't much room in front of them. I do have to be careful. It's only 25. This is like the areas I usually get fines in. Because, yeah, at this point, now with what my drivers have done, which, again, I can't always count on, but they've been good, because Vodke got a $9,000 job, which is awesome. We will have enough when we're done. So we're going to make this episode even longer, because we're going to buy a garage and add a driver. So, and obviously get a truck. Because, I mean, I guess I could add a driver and just have him walk around the garage. I suppose someone might be happy to get paid to do that, but I'm sure even someone would get bored and be like, this really isn't a job, this is just hiking in a building. It's like mall walking, but without the fun with the stores. Alright, welcome back to the United States. I really didn't mean to go to Mexico, sir. That would be like the thing. What was the purpose of your visit? I wanted to sleep. Again, poor map design. Think about how ridiculous that statement was. Why did you come to Mexico? To sleep. Because I couldn't sleep in the United States because there weren't any places to sleep. So, anyway, enough of my rant on that, but it's just frustrating because I'm sure I've lost all kinds of people who got this far who are like, I'm not sitting through this loop around to sleep and then whatever. So probably if they do come back, they're like skipping to the chapter that says delivery. So I don't know. Because yeah, I was going to share some more information, but now I'm like, do I get back to the point where I think people might rejoin the video? I don't know. It just creates all these problems having poor map design. The impacts are far-reaching. You know, the favorite thing that I always have, and folks who are good at strategic planning, we always tell folks, you know, because people are like, oh, they were unintended consequences. No, they weren't unintended consequences. You just didn't think things through. You designed your map and didn't realize reasonable spacing for rest stops and do that. You just laid down roads and then kind of threw darts at the map and said, here's a rest stop, here's a rest stop. I'm tired, I'm not going to put any more rest stops on. Well, guess what? I'm tired and I don't have a rest stop to rest at. So, you made a mistake. So yes, I'm an unhappy customer. And I get, I'm not paying you. You do it for free. You do it for the love. But you want to make folks happy and love your mod? Make it playable. In this area of this mod, it's really not playable. Because, again, go back and look at the video. 4.5 hours of my rest thing. I'm like, I'll absolutely be able to get a rest stop before then. And the answer is no, I wasn't. I needed another map attached, or I would have been driving all the way up to that ridiculous place, and again, probably going way past and turning around because it looks like you've got it as a one-way rest stop. Which again, in the design might be like, wow, look at this, is cool, this is fun, we'll do this, we'll put a one-way rest stop in. That's fine, then put one on the other side. Because yes, I get this thing's told me 19 minutes or whatever, but I guarantee you I've already spent 10 minutes just circling this, and it's telling me 13, so... Because of the challenge of getting the truck up to speed, this is making this a lot longer than it needs to be. I have enough gas, I have enough fuel, I have enough time. You know, I'm not in any danger there, thank goodness, or I'd be more irate, but... Anyway, yes, I'm going to wait at this point. I'll get back on the route, and that's probably then what I'll do is I'll put a chapter heading in the video and say, back on the way, and then people who want to skip this ridiculous detour that I had to take will be able to click on that, and so I'll talk about what I was going to talk about then. So in the meantime, those of you with me probably get to listen to me grumble more. I'm looking to see, honestly, now those look like they're all New Mexico, because I was like, well now, because this is the light we were at where everybody was from, we had the mixture of Texas and New Mexico plates. I mean, I guess the benefit we're going to have is, you know, we're going to deliver in the daylight for sure, where otherwise, you know, we might have been delivering here in the pre-dawn hours. So if that's exciting to you, because once again with this trailer they're not going to have me back it into anything, you can't, so it's just going to be a pull-in. You know, I guess the one silver lining on this is I am going to get obviously I should get credit and experience for all these extra miles that I'm having to take. Alright, so now we're back in Texas. Alright, 4,600 from Thomas K. Good job, Thomas K. Leveling up, even better job, Thomas K. Welcome to whatever new thing you can haul. Which again, I think it works the same way for the AI drivers. You won't be able to haul until after you haul whatever you're going to haul now, but
Keep left.
at least the dispatcher will put you on the list. And oh goodness gracious, really? It's my own fault. I was like, oh, I need to move over. You bastard. Sorry. Sorry for the language if we've got folks watching. But that one really steamed me. I mean, I had my signal on and 2 cars are pulling up. It's exactly why the AI runs into each other at entrance ramps, because it's just busted. But yeah, again, the 100,000 pounds, it's going to take a while to get going again. Alright. I was like, am I even close? I thought it was there, but then I was beginning to wonder. I'm like, it's a gas station. Do I have to turn and do whatever? Because yeah, now I've got all the weird roads and stuff that I'm going to have to use to go ahead and go on. Mesa 3 minutes, downtown 9 minutes. Good information. Alright, it's 55 here. Of course we have street lights, and of course they're red. Well, I know I need to go left, so I better start. Because again, we know how nice the AI is here. So I'm just going to get all the way over. Because yes, I'm pretty sure I need to go to Las Cruces. Either way, you can see on the mini-map. It doesn't give me many choices. You can already see the little X wall up there. So I can only go to the next light. Question is, with my stupid heavy haul, am I going to have enough acceleration to get to the next light before we get stuck again? Oh, map designer, you have failed me grandly. Oh, it's Volts and Motors, but that's because they're not... Oh, it's a green arrow, so we're definitely not going to make that. So we are going to be stuck waiting there again. I just hope all these other people get through, because otherwise we could be waiting even longer. Oh, they're not going to get through. Oh my god. This is terrible.
And then turn
Oh, okay. Alright, the left turn lane is here. So that's a straight lane. Alright.
turn left.
Thank goodness. I was calling the map designers really mean, nasty names in my head. But it's a little bit better. Wow. Just a little bit, not much. Don't feel you're getting a reprieve. Your map design sucked for rest areas. Just take the feedback and realize you deserve it. So yes, I'm counting to 10, trying to calm myself down. Sorry. Don't have to do that very often at all, so yeah, I'm definitely a bit steamed. Because I was hoping to not have a problem, and again, I've got like real life commitments that I've got, and now this should not have been an episode or a run that was in any danger of having a problem, and instead I've probably added half an hour to this thing to go sleep in Mexico. Just ridiculous. Alright, so then we get on here. we go. And no, I was half tempted to play the game of like, well, I'll go straight and discover that and get on the next one, but I'm not sure that I can get on there, and I'm not playing that game of then circling around and whatever. And anyone that was with me at that point, if I did that, I wouldn't blame you for just cutting the video off, saying, forget it, I'm not watching this. I'm done. This has been long enough. Because, yeah, I would have gone along that route there. And then I think there's the turnaround, but I don't think there's a way to get on. What are you recomputing? Again, like why? I guess I could have gotten on, but good enough. If I had looked, I would have known, but this better not be an exit only. It is. Of course, it doesn't say that. So redonkulous. Alright, so at this point, I'm back on the route. So I've been holding off to share information. Are we crossing into New Mexico? We are. Alright, so no, the whole thing, obviously, I talked about, hey, I'm detail-oriented, I'm this, that, whatever. And that was all kind of getting to the point of explaining. Alright, so I want to exit to the right here.
Keep right, and then turn
Hold on. I will actually speak about what I'm going to speak about, but I don't want to, like, ruin my journey.
right.
So, alright. Okay. I think I'm good. So, it ended up talking about, hey, as if the update breaks the mod, that I'll keep going, that my intent is to keep going. It was a long description where the gist of it was, my intent is I'm going to find a way to keep moving along, unless I just really, really can't, or I have to strip so much away that it is no longer a coast-to-coast series. It's just a series. Then at that point I'm better off just starting another series. But because I like to do something similar to this, the other series I would start would be like looking for maps anyway, so you get my point. I'm likely going to wait around until I can continue this rather than just start a series I'm not right now terribly interested in starting. Do I turn? No, now I go straight. Alright. Okay, because that's Alamogordo, yeah, which takes me back to Texas. This is Albuquerque, which keeps me in New Mexico and is where we want to go. So, 11 minutes of real time, by the way. So we're exactly back where we were, where I was telling you 12 minutes of real time where we started the detour, which would make sense because we're back on the route. So anyway, in my discovery of things and digging around in between episodes, what I determined is I went back to the 1.43 update, which happened in the end of 2021, and between the announcement of the open beta and the actual release was actually almost a month. I thought it was like 2 weeks, but it was like November 11th was when the open beta was announced and released that people could participate, and then December 9th was when 1.43 was released, and ETS was kind of on the same schedule. It's just because of I think the time zone difference, it ends up being it was released on December 8th, and I didn't look for sure if the open beta started on November 10th, but I think it probably would have been. But in either case, that means I get a month of real time to continue to move forward, and that could turn into a lot of episodes over the course of a month, because at a minimum, I obviously try to get back to this on a somewhat weekly basis, similar to what the video release schedule is, like at least every 8 days. But in reality, I've been able to do it much more frequently, which is partially how I've gotten ahead with the series, and have videos kind of in the pipeline already published, and they're just scheduled and going to go public when they're supposed to go public per the calendar. So with all that, I may get more than a month ahead in videos, and that gives me more of a buffer if I've got to wait. Now, again, that doesn't mean I'm going to be thrilled waiting. Like, then the reality of my life is I'm not playing ATS that way in that series that I'm doing. And if I do other things, I mean, maybe I'll record them to release them, and maybe I'll just release them off schedule as extra videos on given days, because they'll just be me kind of truly just poking around. And if I get enough viewers on the ATS side, because right now these videos, frankly, just don't draw a large audience, and I don't know if that's just the nature of ATS videos versus farming simulator videos. Again, I'm still a pretty small channel right now. Not that it would change significantly as I grew. I mean, you would hope it would, that you get more views, but I'm getting less than 100 views on the farm simulator videos, but I usually get less than 10 views on these ATS videos. But what I was going to say, if I get a bigger audience of that, and it makes sense, I could do stuff like that as live streams where I'm just doing fill-in, and and then it obviously creates more content, lets me play, and I'm just playing, and we're just there chatting together and hanging out. But if I've got 10 viewers over, after the video's been posted for a month, the likelihood of anybody showing up to a live stream is virtually zero, and I don't have an environment where I'm like ready to do a live stream. Like, to do a live stream requires me physically moving monitors and equipment and hooking things up, and like it's an undertaking. So I'm happy to do it if I know there's going to be folks that are enjoying it, but I don't even know that I'd get a person, because like when I did the one live stream I have done in Farming Simulator to celebrate hitting 100 subscribers, I think I had 3 people show up, and they weren't all there together. Like, it was like over the course of the time I was doing the work, I had 3 different people show up. I think I had a couple, in at a time, but that was it. And once again, I just had 100 subscribers, but at that point I wasn't even really back to focusing on ATS, because I hadn't kind of come up with a concept that I wanted to put on the channel, because the other series I was doing was okay, but again, it wasn't like calling to me, if you know what I mean. So the sun's up, that's good. We're on the SCS portion of the map, that's also good, because as I said, my hope is for the next episode I might be able to take my first external contract to the series. So those are always fun, because sometimes they're a little more expensive or valuable. They pay you more, so they're more expensive to the group that's paying. Now, the reality there is, though, those are real-time contracts, so if it tells you you have 10 hours to deliver, like, I've got to take something that I know I can deliver. So it's not like I can get there now, look at something, take it, and then, ooh, it'll be there, a week from now when I go. Like, I will have lost it and gotten in trouble for not finishing the contract. So we'll see what we see. But the hope is, because we're in Albuquerque, we'll get some. Now, the reality is, if I take external contracts, they're also likely, I assume, going to keep me on the SCS portion of the map. So, because I can't imagine, just because I have things loaded, that they're suddenly going to take me to, oh God, why, AI, why? You just cause me so much pain and consternation. So here we go. He's not speeding up. It's a box truck. Put your foot on the gas and move your truck. Oh my God. I've only got like 65 miles, so I have to get over to the right too. And now I'm not able to accelerate. Oh, I hate this guy. Alright, I'm going to put on my signal because I'm going to be getting off here soon. It might even be this exit, but I don't know. Oh, thank goodness I heard him, but I didn't see him. I would have hit a motorcyclist. That would have been bad. Alright, well, it's not telling me to exit here yet. So I guess we're continuing on a little more. So I'm guessing it's the other side of town. I assume we're in Albuquerque. I guess not. Alright, so I had a little bit, but either way, that stupid box truck is still there blocking the way. So I'm going to have an issue. And again, I can only go 70 now. We are slower, so... But I don't even know that I'll be able to get up to 70. Thank you very much. This has just been a very irksome episode. Not gonna lie. It's been the least fun I've had in this series just because of all the frustrations that have come up that really aren't necessary if, you know, folks had gotten their systems to work right. If SCS had AI that didn't do stuff like that, I wouldn't have just had what happened. If the map had more rest stops that were reasonable for the size map we have, that wouldn't have happened. Again, I'm double checking. I just want to make sure I don't have a situation where I'm in danger of missing a turn.
Keep right.
Oh,
And then
goodness, really? Okay. So now I'm moving over because I'm like, ooh, I got speed and I can go, but I can't. Alright, so keep right and then keep left. So we're going to head toward Gallup and go on 40 West.
keep left.
This does not look like a big enough ramp. Well, we've got a excavator up there, so maybe we're going to the same place. Be cool if I could keep him in view and see if he does go that way, but he probably won't. That would be too logical and all. Alright, gravity. Gravity and truck working together. What can we do? But we're 16 miles away, so I'm sure we're exiting shortly. What? Who did I hit? There must have been somebody who squeaked in behind me. Ugh. Alright, well, I don't know. I was, obviously, it was a one-lane ramp. I don't know what they would have done. Like, why are they trying to get past me on there?
And then exit right.
That's probably like a legitimate crash that truckers get into all the time, where some fool is trying to dart around you instead of realizing, like, we're merging into traffic. They're not even going to know I'm there. That's literally what happened. I don't even know what I hit.
Turn left.
And I didn't feel it through the force feedback, so it wasn't like it was anything massive. Alright, well, clearly the truck didn't go here because he'd be in front of me. The good news is we're finally here. Again, I'm going to get like 40,000, so we're going to have 350, so we're going to have enough to expand. So there's going to be some thinking that happens. I'll spare you the time of listening to me think. So when I get to that point in the video, I'll assure you guys I'll just cut to the point where I've made my decision. We're just getting the garage, we're finding a driver, you know, getting a truck. Oh good, now we get to wait for a train, which is fine. We're waiting for the light anyway, I guess.
Go
So,
straight on.
and the trains aren't very long, obviously. I know there's like a longer train mod maybe one of these days, but of course it'd be like this kind of day where I'm like, ah, because I don't know what longer train really means. I know, like, when I was a kid, like sometimes we'd have freight trains, and as a kid you sit there and count the cars, and I had some that got up to like 150 cars. It was awesome. But it was awesome because I was a kid and I didn't really care where we were going, and when we got there I was just along for the ride. So it doesn't mean my dad up in the front seat driving wasn't like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I want to just get going. But when you live near trains and so forth, and I guess in most areas, who doesn't? But if you go back in history in the United States, like Chicago was one of the reasons Chicago grew as big as it did, is it was a railway hub, and
Right. And
a
then
lot of
turn
other
right.
things. So there's a lot of
Turn right.
freight lines that go through, because obviously just because it's the 21st century,
Turn left.
we still need, alright, well, I will turn left, but I want to see where I'm going. Alright, so I'm literally parking right there. So the question is, this is always a challenge with these,
You have arrived at your destination.
to really go correctly.
Is now finished.
This yard is just literally, I'm not going to be able to make this. I am, but I'm not going to be able to park properly, so I'm going to have to take the cheat, but I don't know that I would have gotten that much. Let me take a look real quick, but it's so close. I don't know, maybe I can, do I want to try? Because I'd love to, oh look at that, I can. Because I'm like, I'd love to really legitimately park it, but come on, I'm right there. Like, what are you giving me? Like one little, alright, there we go. Cool. So, because yeah, there was no way with that building. Alright, so I did get the 838 miles, which obviously increased my overall experience because all these bonuses are on that too. So that was nice. But, we needed 5,000. We knew we'd not get that. Alright, so I'm going to go figure out where I want my garage, and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put it up in Vernal, Utah here. It's, part of the SCS map, and, it gets me to places, but I don't want to cluster everything over on the East Coast, and, eventually I'll get over here, and it'll be nice to have places around, because, again, we can stop and do things at our garages too, so if I've got them at least spread around, I can do different things. Alright, so we're back at the Peterbilt. Obviously doing our fleet config, buying that, 147, we got 181, gonna purchase it, put it in our new garage, so they're gonna be our lonely first employee, but hey, they get to claim that credit. So let's hire a driver. Look at that, we got 3 screens full of drivers, but who we kidding? We're never gonna leave the first screen, because that's where the best drivers are. This guy is tempting. I think I'm gonna go with him, because he's already got 3 hazmats, so just think of all the bonuses he's gonna be able to build up. Let's go with him. So this, I think, is the benefit of adding the recruitment centers, because we get unique guys like that through the network. Yeah, see, because Natalia, who replaced him, not so good. Alright, so new employee briefing. So, the way we work here, Martin, we're going to increase your distance. That's what we really want to do, because, while we're happy to have your experience with all the hazmat, it's awesome, terrific, happy to pay for that and so forth, but we want to get you going a little bit further, because that'll give you just a lot of options for loads, so welcome aboard. Alright guys, so at this point, we have got 9 drivers other than us. We've opened up another garage, which has 2 more slots, so now we basically need 150,000 or so each time at a minimum, and that would really be pushing it, so I'm probably not going to do it when I'm quite that close. I might take that chance once, but I'm worried then with fuel and all, we're going to be having issues. And if we have drivers returning empty, you know all that. But, you know, $635,000 in profit in a week. We're doing pretty well as a company, so, and we're just going to continue to grow. So hope you stick with us. I'll see you next time.